Oh, what's good, YouTube? Underworld 6667 here, coming at you with another episode of Yu-Gi-Oh! 101. If you haven't checked out all the other episodes of Yu-Gi-Oh! 101 and you want to become a better buyer, trader, and seller in the game of Yu-Gi-Oh!, make sure you go check out the channel. There's a full playlist of Yu-Gi-Oh! 101 episodes, and you could just get that much better. Now, in this episode, we're going to be talking about looking to the past and the future of the actual game, particularly single cards. Individual cards that we want to look at and determine whether it's a good investment or a bad investment or just going to stay at a plateau and go nowhere. Now, in this case, we are going to be looking at the card Chain Disappearance. The reason we're looking at this card is one of my friends, Noah, has approached me and said, hey, do you think Chain Disappearance, the super one, will go up in value or go down in value or stay at a plateau? And I said, hey, you know what? I'm not going to give him the answer. I'm going to make him come up with the answer because it's going to determine whether he's going to ask me the same question for another card or if I can teach him enough that he can then make his choices on his own. That way he can make them fast enough to keep up with the ever-changing market that is the Yu-Gi-Oh! Community. Now, when it came to Chain Disappearance, I asked him very simple questions. First, why do you think it's going to be good? He answered, it's going to be good because of the new card, Angeline, that is going to be played in Madolches. It's going to be able to remove the Angeline that comes out, as well as all the copies from the deck. And I said, great. Now, think about it in the past. Was it good in the past? Now, of course it was good. It was used in order to combat against Insectors and Windups. Now, comparing both Windups, Insectors, and the potential of Madolches, are they equal in tier? If you played Windups way back when they were, top tier, or Insectors way back when they were top tier, what would win overall? Would the Madolches pull out in front because Angeline is that much of a broken card? Or would Insectors and Windups, be prevalent and make sure that they could take the actual cake? Now, of course, in response, he said, you know what? The Insectors and the Windups had such powerful combos, in other words, they were able to get onto the ban list, that it is not really a great comparison. So what we can determine from that is the card will most likely plateau at that point. Now, what we also have to look at, the secondary point where we can see if it's going to, increase in value. We look at the card and we say, okay, is Angeline being removed from both the field and the deck going to hurt Madolches enough that it will either shut down a potential combo or shut down the deck completely? Now, he said it could. It is a very powerful card. It is a very powerful engine in the actual Madolche deck. So it does have a great chance of actually stopping, the plays that Madolches have, or the potential that Madolches have. So we can see that price potentially going up, at which point, in his mind, it is now a good investment to invest pretty much nothing dollars, $10 I think was the super one right now, in the Chain Disappearance right now as it stands. It has the potential of going up, it possibly will plateau, but we could not come up with a reason for it to go down in value because we still see the potential of the card in that kind of a matchup. Now, once again, multiple things could happen on the ban list that maybe brings back Insectors, maybe brings back Windups, maybe brings back other cards like Dino Rabbit or Tour Guide, which is at 3 by the way, which you can use it on a regular basis. Now it's a card that's not just used on Madolches, but it's used on multiple decks. So the potential of profit in a Chain Disappearance situation is ever increasing. However, until it actually does that increase, it will stay at a plateau, which means if you're going to tie up your money, it's not a good investment. However, if you have some extra funds, it would be a good investment to sit on and wait and watch it increase in value. Hopefully you guys took a little bit from this actual episode. Make sure that you're doing this with not just Chain Disappearance, but doing it with multiple different cards. Different cards that have seen, presence in the side deck, Royal Decrees and that kind of thing, could potentially go up in value. What you need to do is be subjective and objective when it comes to analyzing the actual playability of that card. Don't say, oh my god, it's broken. Actually calculate out in your mind that it makes 100% sense that that card is going to be a dire card that people are going to need. That's how you're going to make profit. That's how you're not going to make binder blunders. And that's the whole point, to not make binder blunders.